And this is how they line up on the grid after a very, very tight qualifying session. The two Aston Martins are on the final row of the grid, but only a second or so away from the front row of the grid. Timo Glock with a different car this weekend. The McLaren of Ben Durr is there on the penultimate row of the grid. Arjun Maini and Fabio Scherer in the two Mustangs starting 19th and 20th, with Max Powell and Nicky Tim just ahead. Jordan Pepper, championship leader coming into this, back on 15th on the grid with Morris Schuring for company. And it's Engstler and Bortolotti in two more Lamborghinis. And then two Ferraris together, starting just outside the top 10, Ben Green and Thierry Vermeulen. Thomas Priding starts 9th, 10th alongside him, with the best qualifying so far in DTM is Ben Durr. Ahead there, Wittmann and Gouin 7th and 8th. René Rast 5th, Jack Aitken 6th, and then on the second row of the grid, Maro Engel and Jules Gouin start 3rd and 4th. Well, Chris Hartley and Brian Oliver then to talk you through round 3 of DTM 2025. Lucas Sauer, the pole position man on the right of your picture there in the Mercedes to the left. Ricardo Fella, who was only a fraction off pole position this morning. Maro Engel and Jules Gouin in the Mercedes just behind as the lights go out. The race gets underway, and it looks like a good start for Auer on the long drag down towards turn 1. Lots of drivers in the big pack trying to find a gap, find a way through. It's a great start for Maro Engel. He's going to get up the inside of Ricardo Fella and get himself into second place from Mercedes 1-2. So Fella down to 3rd. Rast has had a great start in the BMW as well. He's gone straight up to 4th as contact further back in the middle of the pack, but other drivers scrambling through. The Arjun Maini Mustangs had a bit of a hit, so that's wobbling sideways, but it's still roughly pointed in the right direction. I think Luca Engstler's had a hit though, and he's slowed right down.
8 under investigation, Nicholas Bart, and that's for a false start as well.
See if we can unpick this. First of all, watch Maro Engel in the blue and gold Mercedes. Great start to draw alongside Ricardo Fella, getting to second, and great start for René Rast as well as he gets through. Let's look in the middle of the pack, see if we can unpick this. All those contact with Morris Schuring, and that looks like for me, might be Vermeulen or Green, two of them together, one either side of him. And then he had contact, Morris Schuring. That was the tank slapper for Jordan Pepper after Schuring had got hit earlier in the corner. He was then sent into Jordan Pepper, so Pepper was kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. He actually got squeezed between him and Fabio Scherer, and he did a great job, Jordan Pepper, to control that car, because he was completely sideways at one point.
3 cars under investigation for a false start. So that's Max Powell, Tom Callender, and Nicola Bart as well. So Stewart's having a look at that. The view on board with Jordan Pepper. This is going to be exciting. You see that gap closing in front of him.
Yeah, Mirko Bortolotti was in this as well, wasn't he? He's just in front to the right of the picture. Did he escape any contact? Yeah, he did actually. So he just sort of threaded his way through all of that, Mirko Bortolotti, which is why he's up to 9th place.
Gosh, that was lively in there. Anybody survived that corner have done well, haven't they?
Yeah, and we saw the back end of Arjun Maini getting a tank slapper on. He, as Jordan Pepper tried to recover, got clipped on the left rear corner, that Mustang, by the Lamborghini of Jordan Pepper. A lot to unpick here. This is looking back at Jack Aitken in the number 14 Ferrari. He lost a couple of places at the start. He went from 6th down to 8th. Keep an eye on the Mustang to the right. Oh, there's all of the carnage. Timo Glock with a face full of everything. But a great start for Lucas Auer. He leads the way. 2nd place. Also great start for Maro Engel. There is damage to Morris Schuring's Porsche. He's ripped the front left wing off the car, so that is probably pit bound. It looks a bit second-hand at the moment, that's for sure. And the front bumper now detaches itself, which is probably a good thing, but he's slowing down. There's all sorts of debris on the straight, and the safety car, as a result of all of the carnage, and probably more debris on the track, is being deployed. The safety car is coming in on this lap, and there was the very damaged-looking Manthey Junior car of Morris Schuring, which has gone to the pits and retired now, as has Luca Engstler. Marshals have done well to sweep up all the safety car out. He should be able to rejoin on the lead lap. Oh, I'm not sure he's going to try and rejoin, is he? They look like they're going to wheel that Porsche, I'm afraid, back into the garage. And finally, Luca Engstler limps back. Oh. Now, has he got suspension damage, or is it a puncture, or is it both? Looks okay from this side. I think the damage is on the left side. That's going nowhere either, is it? Luca, I'm afraid he's out after he and Jordan Pepper had a great weekend at Zandvoort last weekend in the GT World Challenge. A pair of drivers that raced together, got 2 podiums. And ahead of the restart, let's go down to Verena. Thanks, Farina. Restart underway then. Luca Sauer leads them back into full speed action. Maro Engel second. Luca Sauer just over a second clear. A replay of Thierry Vermeulen and Ben Green. They might be teammates, but they both want to do well. They get absolutely side by side, just about squeezing. That's where he is at the moment. That's kind of where the car is at the moment, even though they had a really good private test here. 10 DTM cars coming here on May the 6th. The Mirko Bortolotti was quickest of them all, but it was a much hotter day than it is now, and maybe the track has changed a bit. We've got trucks racing here this weekend as well. As we go side by side here, Jules Gounon and Marco Wittmann. Gounon is just about holding his place, but he goes wide on the exit through the gravel trap, and Wittmann is through. So the double champion, Marco Wittmann, gains a place, and Thomas Preining, the 2023 champion, is trying to do the same as they go round the outside into turn 10. Left-hander coming up, but Jules Gounon slams the door in Tommy Preining's face.
The second last time out, and Thomas Preining is carrying an extra 5 kilos as a result of third last time out. Jack Aitken looking eager. It's a replay from the perspective of Jules Gounon, experiencing the edge of the gravel trap, bit of drifting around the corner. The team looking as Torsten Schubert.
The Porsche driver knows what's coming, so he sticks to the inside line, tries to cover it off, but Jack Aitken, I think he's going to thread his way around the outside, is he? At least he's going to try to. Aitken can't quite squeeze through. Thomas Preining perfectly positioned there with the Porsche. That sends him a deep into the corner, though, and he takes 2 wheels on the grass. It's all a bit roughshod, it's a bit scrambled, but somehow he's digging in deep. 2 great drivers going side by side. Here goes Jack Aitken. Look at the inside on the way through turn 5. Still side by side. The war for company for Thomas Preining. He will not give that position up. And Jack Aitken in the end has to back off out of it to stop Mirko Bortolotti coming through.
Clapping and cheering and watching from behind a pillow, I should think, for a lot of the time.
Marco Wittmann had a solid day at Oschersleben with a 6th and an 8th. Oh, a spin for Bortolotti, and under investigation, an incident between Bortolotti and Vermeulen. So they're having a look at that. So that was a replay. He got it gathered up pretty quickly, didn't he? But it's tumbled him back down behind Timo Glock. So I reckon he's in 17th place when they come back through. After that great start as well. Very frustrating for the reigning champion. And here is Timo Glock trying to get up the inside now. The number 2 Lambo of Nicky Tim. He's got amped Lamborghinis in front of him and behind him, Timo Glock. So yeah, for that incident we saw with the resulting spin for Mirko Bortolotti, Vermeulen has got the blame for that, according to the stewards, and I'm sure according to Mirko Bortolotti as well. In fact, it is Fabio Scherer retiring because the car, I can see from the commentary box, is being wheeled backwards into the garage. So that's Fabio out after what was looking pretty promising for the Mustang and the HRT team, with the Swiss driver already up into the points. Really struggled with the twists and turns of Oschersleben, but it's much better suited to this. That was why Timo Glock's been able to get past Nicky Tim. Thanks, Farina. Yeah, it was going well, wasn't he? But let's have a look. Did he get a tap? Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So Aston Martin, Tom Callender, and Arjun Maini was in that queue as well, wasn't he? Arjun, we know, a very capable driver, 7th in the championship last year. Already has picked up points in the Ford Mustang for HRT at Oschersleben, but he was involved in that turn 1, turn 2 incident, which knocked him down the order. So Callender away. That looked like a pretty handy stop. Stationary time, if you can do it in under 6.5 seconds, you're doing very well. We haven't even seen sub 6 second times. So quickest stops so far. He was running in the top 10. So Arjun Nguyen and Ben Durr come in, and Durr Motorsport looking to continue improving their pit stops. Remember, it's only their 2nd season in the DTM as a team. 9 seconds stationary, whereas 7.1 seconds for Mantine. That just shows what a difference a team can make. Yes, it is. So Gounon comes in for his mandatory stop as Ricardo Fella tries to fight back around the outside. Doesn't want to give the place up, but that's a big wide BMW. Marco Wittmann will have absolutely none of that, and now he's got to keep an eye on the mirrors. And oh dear, Max Powell in now. And I wonder if this is related to that wheel nut or it's another issue, but that's a real shame on their home race. Max Powell hasn't actually yet in the DTM, and he's not had many races at this circuit in the DTM. But in terms of points finishes, the whole of 2023, the whole of 2024, and so far the whole of 2025, he's been in the points in every single race. So if he finishes in the points, and that's in the top 15 in this race, that'll be the 35th race on the trot. Welcome, says the Aston Martin to Timo Glock. And there you go. Wow. And he's brought with him Rast's teammate, Marco Wittmann, who's looking very racy there in 5th place. So this is going to be a hell of a battle now for the final spot on the podium in the last 13 minutes or so of the race.
Brilliant stuff. So Marco Wittmann seems to have come alive in the latter part of this race. So he's in 5th place. This is the view back from Jules Gounon.
To keep Marco Wittmann at bay. Oh, so close.
So there's certainly the pace there, but he's looking very vulnerable to Marco Wittmann, who's looked like man on a mission all along. In towards turn 1, ducking to the outside, then to the inside, maybe trying to sell the dummy into that little downhill pinch point, but still, we've got to get up pretty early in the morning to put one over Jules Gounon. Marco Wittmann might be the man to do it, though. An experienced driver, Thomas Preining behind him as well. These three lined up together. Jack Aitken is going to be closing in on this battle.
Again, Marco Wittmann very quick through the first sector, which takes in the run through turns 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And he's holding on in the middle sector this time, isn't he? Which is where Gounon has had the edge. But Gounon looks like he might be struggling a bit now with that Mercedes, maybe with the tyres as well. Marco Wittmann looks the quicker of the two, that's for sure. And if you lose one place, you might lose two, because Tommy Preining will see what's happening ahead. He'll read the road and he'll try and get in on the fight as well. So a long 3 laps coming up here at the end of the race for Jules Gounon. The time has now run out. We're into the 3 laps added on at the end of the time, and this that you're looking at now is the battle for 4th place. Jules Gounon versus the 2-time champion Marco Wittmann there in the BMW. This is where Marco through the first sector has been the quicker of the two. Shows his nose, there's no way through here really. He might have a stab on the way off the tri-oval, under braking on the way into turn 6 if he can get close enough. Otherwise he's probably going to have to wait until the end of the lap. I don't think he's close enough here, is he? No. So this doesn't happen very often. 2 winners, 3 races, 2 wins for Lucas Auer. This is going to be a double victory this season. He had to wait over 2 years for his last victory. He's only had to wait a few weeks to pick up his 2nd win of the season. Lucas Auer wins here at the Lausitzring and extends his championship lead.
He got top time. Yes.
And he's a happy chappy, quite right too. Yeah. Great drive from Lucas Auer. Pole to victory again, just like at Oschersleben. He's a Saturday star. And the weather could play its part tomorrow as well. But for now, enjoy the spoils, enjoy another trophy. Thomas Voss presents the winning trophy to Lucas Auer. And that one means a lot as well. He's got the season off to his best start. He's never had a start to the championship like this. Can he keep the momentum going? The Dekra Run circuit, and from Dekra the presentation of the 2nd place trophy to Maro Engel. He had another podium finish for him. 7 last year, already 2. David Schumacher, who was competing in the GT Masters Championship last year and a former DTM racer himself, presents the 3rd place trophy to René Rast. Lucas Auer and Maro Engel take the top 2 spots. The BMW of René Rast ahead of the Mercedes of Jules Gounon. Another BMW, Marco Wittmann up there in 5th. First of the Porsches, Tommy Preining in 6th, Jack Aitken the first of the Ferraris in 7th, and then Engin Nguyen at the continually impressive Ben Durr, and Ben Green rounding out the top 10. It's nice to see Ben Green getting his first points, his first top 10 in the DTM after a very up and down weekend at Oschersleben. The rest of the points finishers were Jordan Pepper, Arjun Maini, Mirko Bortolotti, who had some contact from Thierry Vermeulen and sent into a spin, Nicky Tierman, Thierry Vermeulen, who had 3 trips to the penalty box but still managed to drag a point out of it. No points though for Tom Callender, Timo Glock, Gilles Magnus or Nicola Betts, but the Continue Racing Aston Martin team definitely closing the gap every time they get out there in those Astons. They're new, of course. Lucas Auer leading the championship though by 15 points from Jules Gounon, and then Engin Nguyen and Jordan Pepper are on 42 points apiece. Maro Engel 5th on 41, Thomas Preining 6th on 40, and then Marco Wittmann up to 7th place, and René Rast up to 8th place after good results for the 2 BMW drivers today. So they're the rest of the drivers that have scored in the points. 18 of the drivers so far have scored points this season, and it looks like being wide open once again.